I'm Max Brantley with the Arkansas Times on Monday, November 23rd. News from Arkansas. Governor Asa Hutchinson's been on a trade mission to China, and he sent back word over the weekend that he'd signed a letter of agreement with Chinese officials to build a pulpwood mill in South Arkansas, perhaps firming up the location by 2016 and having the mill built by 2018. This would be a $1.3 billion mill. Could employ 300 people. This was a plan that began under Governor Mike Beebe's tenure back in 2012. It's been limping along, and it has now reemerged. It has FDA approval to make products. It would make products that go into baby diapers and other sanitary products. The interesting thing is yet unknown is how much of an incentive Arkansas is going to offer to communist Chinese investors to build a plant in poor Arkansas to create 300 jobs. It's ironic, if nothing else. The people who are going to invest in this plant, of course, want to come here because we have millions of acres of pulpwood land, easy access to cheap wood, which is why they want to be here. They're not going to locate this in a place that doesn't have pine forests like we do. And I have to wonder whether we should be loaning money to the Chinese who are awash in cash to get them to come to Arkansas. But these issues are yet unknown as the specifics, but for now there's perhaps a chance that some more jobs are going to come here courtesy of the Chinese. A circuit judge in Little Rock today, Tim Fox, ruled that the state should add the names of both parents and 3 same-sex couples, all women, all couples that had children by sperm donation, on their birth certificates. The state had refused to do so. They had listed the mothers from the forms filled out at the hospital, but not the other mother, because the other mother was not a biological parent. While these 3 couples are now going to have both names listed on birth certificates for parentage, this doesn't really solve the question, which is a real issue, and marriage does not connote biological parenting, of course, and the state raised this as an objection to adding the names to these certificates. In fact, having the names on the certificate is not going to be a matter of proof of parenting either. Other states have dealt with this problem before. It needs a rule change. It needs a law change. The state has been deficient in not moving forward on this, no doubt because of the resistance in the legislature to same-sex marriage. Excuse me. The Hoga, a tugboat that saw duty in Pearl Harbor at the beginning of World War II, has finally made it to North Little Rock, which decided 10 years ago to make a bid to add this to its Inland Maritime Museum. It's been a long, hard process. It finally was towed up the river today by a river tugboat and docked nearby to the Razorback submarine, which was already in place at the Inland Maritime Museum. Happy day for Pat Hayes, who was mayor when this plan got underway. Big news south of Arkansas over the weekend. Louisiana voters elected John Bel Edwards, a Democrat, to be their governor over David Vitter. This is the first big statewide victory for a Democrat in the South since I don't know when. It was a perfect storm, as all the analysts have said in Louisiana. David Vitter was a damaged Republican candidate because of his brush with prostitution in the past. Speaking of diapers, he was rumored to have a diaper fetish. John Bel Edwards is a conservative Democrat, but he's by no means a Democrat in name only. One of the first things he did on taking office was saying it was going to be his first goal to expand Medicaid coverage under Obamacare in Louisiana. That was something that his predecessor, Bobby Jindal, had no interest in doing. Does he provide a route for other Democrats in other states to get elected in states that are going Republican like Arkansas? Not unless they can find a Republican candidate probably who has a diaper fetish. But apart from that, Louisiana does have a much larger minority population, which tends to vote heavily for Democrats, and that was a help that he had there that an Arkansas Democratic candidate doesn't necessarily have. It's Thanksgiving week, as you know, and it occurred to me that it was something of a commentary on living wages in Arkansas that UAMS has put out its annual call for employees at UAMS to contribute food to a food drive to feed those at UAMS who can't afford to get food on their table at Thanksgiving. What does that say about the pay for those of the lower echelons of UAMS? Not very much, I'm afraid. And finally, for more Thanksgiving fodder, a funny poll by Public Policy Polling on various Thanksgiving issues. You might be interested to know that Hillary Clinton led the presidential candidates as the one that people would most like to have at their Thanksgiving dinner. Her number was small, only 24%. The voting was kind of splintered. But on the question of who would be most likely to say something that would ruin dinner for everybody, well, that was a runaway, Donald Trump, and in a landslide. I'm Max Brantley. I'll be back tomorrow.
You feel it in your heart. The spirit of Little Rock. We've had that spirit since 1927, helping build our city by producing decades of leaders in the heart of our state. We are the heart of business and innovation, the heart of politics and government, the heart of arts and culture, and in our city beats the heart of a Trojan. UALR, we are Little Rock's team and Little Rock's University.